Hello everybody, and welcome to this new moon reading in Gemini happening June 17th or 18th depending on where you live in the world. And I'm not going to do an extra daily reading this weekend. This will just be our weekend reading. We're going to do a pick a card, and I'll shuffle, and as I do, we'll talk a little bit about the astrology that is going to be happening. I'll put timestamps down below if you wish to skip this part. But so on June 17th, the same day as the new moon, we have Saturn station retrograde. So it's another large outer moving planet. This happens every year. We also had Pluto station retrograde on May 2nd. And then at the end of June, we'll have Neptune retrograde. And so all these larger planets slowing down and appearing to move backwards, it's going to be a time for us to increase our introspection into these different topics. And concerning Pluto, it's like power and control and corruption in society. And that's Saturn as well, power and restriction. And then we also have, with Neptune going retrograde, it'll be a more emotional confusion time. Could be deception in the media. But there's, in the positive manner, we have a strengthening connection to oneness and source energy. Neptune is going to be squaring our galactic center. That's at 27 degrees Sagittarius until the end of 2025. And it'll be at its most powerful in 2024. But yeah, squares apply pressure and initiate change, and this is actually going to increase our psychic abilities, emotional healing, connection to source and others. We're moving from a denser, heavier energy into a lighter energy. And then, so we do have this new moon happening at 12:36 a.m. Eastern Time, June 18th, and it's at 26 degrees 43 minutes in the tropical system. And then in sidereal, it is 2 degrees and 32 minutes. So they're both in Gemini, much like we had last month, I believe, in Taurus. So in Vedic astrology, this is happening in the third nakshatra, Mrigashira, and that means the deer head or the doe. It's a very gentle energy, but it's also skittish, nervous. It's called the seeker. It aligns with a star in the left shoulder of Orion, which is the hunter, of course. So these people are always seeking, always on the move, but also are very kind, gentle, loving. So if you have any placements between, I think, 20 degrees Taurus and about 6 degrees of Gemini in sidereal astrology, then you could have this influence in your chart. The ruler of Mrigashira is the moon. And yeah, so it's very emotional, sensitive, caring also, as we have moon rules the sign of Cancer in tropical astrology. So Gemini, what is Gemini? Gemini is the third house of communication, short distance travel, our perception, social media. So with this new moon, we are able to see things with new eyes. Perhaps we could see things that maybe we didn't know before, or see things from another perspective, or even from another point of view. And Gemini is the air element of the mind. Every manifestation begins in the mind. So as we generate new images, new thought patterns, new ideas, we could be setting ourselves up to plant seeds to manifest new physical realities in our personal life. And so Saturn is stationary as it's moving retrograde. That's an increase in its power. And this increases our discipline, perhaps less distractions. If you're like me and you have a lot of placements in Gemini, you may feel a little ADHD all over the place. Your thoughts are always wandering, racing around, and you find it very hard to concentrate. So we can use this Saturn energy to our advantage in order to improve our concentration and our discipline in achieving certain goals by staying focused, because nothing is ever manifested, I hate to say half-assed, but that's true. So you have to give 110%. Saturn can help us do that. Gemini is also choices. And Pluto is making a T-square with the north and south lunar nodes until the end of the year. So I've been getting this recurring theme in my readings as far as, stay in your comfort zone or change. The south node is the comfort zone, where you're used to, where you're coming from. The north node is an expansion, your soul growth. So we have this ongoing debate within ourselves as we feel pulled in separate directions. But this new moon is a great supporting aspect to launch yourself into a new direction. Also, we still have Jupiter, the planet of expansion and growth, spiritual growth, ruling the ninth house of Sagittarius, is also still conjunct the North Node. And the North Node is our soul's destiny direction, where we're supposed to go. But we still need structure. We still need strategy and a plan. Okay, let me see if I need any more cards for our piles before we start this reading. Oh, I'm going to do animal cards. I think I forgot the animal cards at the last moon reading. So we'll get those going here real quick. Okay. A skunk. That's funny. All right. I think that has to do with boundaries, though. Okay. And respect. All right, it's still underneath the deck, so that might be a group message. Okay, it's actually called reputation, but yeah, number 7 is the number of Saturn as well. So it could be a emphasis on that message as well, but it's skunk, tell me your story so I will know it well of how to attract or how to repel. So you think about, the Looney Tunes cartoon, Pepe Le Pew or whatever, the skunk, he was very romantic and seductive, but then also they have this weapon of ability to repel. So it's kind of like, do you paying attention to what it is that you're attracting into your reality, who you want to invite in or what you want to pursue versus what you want to repel or release or let go. That could be that Pluto squaring the nodes. Interesting, coming around. So, but yeah, healthy boundaries may be something that you need to work on as well if you're trying to focus again what it is on what you're manifesting during this new moon. Okay, let's take a look at our piles here, see if I can get something to help us pick. All right, I'm going to get an angel message for each pile, and we'll use that. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Okay, pile 1, what did you get? Birth. Okay. Pile 2, you got communication. It's very Gemini. And pile 3, we got openness. Okay. So pick your pile 1, 2, or 3, birth, communication, or openness. I'll put timestamps below, and we'll see you in your selected pile. All right, pile 1, you chose birth. Let's see if that fits into our reading here. Let's start with your astrology cards, or your tarot cards. First, we have transformation, Scorpio, death card. So yeah, with every death, there's a new birth. Next, we have temptation, the devil, Capricorn. That temptation or resistance to change. And then the 8 of air, 8 of swords. All right, so the 8 of swords is the position of Jupiter in Gemini. It's not quite there yet, but it's still, Jupiter expands everything. And we have this new moon in Gemini. So expanding our perception, our communication, our elevation of awareness and consciousness, as we have this angel here, seems to be dropping feathers down below. But she's definitely up above everyone and everything else, looking down onto reality below. Perhaps where she's come from, where she used to feel stuck or retained or held back, because that can be the devil energy too, being restricted. It's ruled by Capricorn, whose planetary ruler is Saturn. So I feel a sense of liberation here with the death card, as transformation depicts this phoenix rising from the ashes out of this little girl's hands. So you've conquered something, I believe, whether it be self-doubt, whether it be someone else's perceived restriction upon you, but it feels like a rebirth of the self for this new moon. Let's take a look at your astrology cards and see how we can expand upon this. We have water, spirituality, emotion, intuition, and compassion. So we have the sun moving into Cancer shortly here in tropical astrology. We have Scorpio showing up now twice. Mars, move forward and defend self. And then we have Libra, consideration, fairness, and harmony. Okay. So Mars is currently in the sign of Cancer in sidereal astrology. In Libra, I'm hearing liberation. So freedom, it feels like, again, like I mentioned, breaking the chains of the devil that may have been holding you back. And I think there's a reflection here, a contemplation of how did I ever allow myself to become stuck in that circumstance or that situation, or why did I ever doubt? There is an elevation of faith here, like your faith has been restored in humanity or yourself or your higher self, your guides. The direction they've been pointing and urging you to go, whatever signs you've been receiving, could be these dropped feathers from the clouds. It's all been there to nudge you, encourage you towards this harmonious future. And even the symbol of Libra, it looks similar to the North Node. So again, moving forward, defending self. So protect the energy that you fought so hard to liberate. So you don't get sucked back down into that comfort zone, into that desire, that temptation to be lazy again. Maybe you started going to the gym like 3 months ago and it's like, man, I've reached my goals, I can relax now. And this is telling you no, like you have to keep up with it. You need to maintain it, just as one example. But the temptation there could be, I don't have to do this anymore because I've done it long enough, no matter what that is in your life. So you're still very much green or new to this transformation. So it's important now more than ever to stick with your routine, stick with your discipline. As we mentioned, we have the energy of Saturn moving retrograde at our assistance, at our disposal, in order to continue these patterns that we've initiated for ourselves, in order to restore this harmony to our life. Whereas something we obviously felt a need to change with the Scorpio death card there. And even the number 8, that's the 8th house. It's also the infinity sign. It's being stuck in a loop, caught in the same patterns, repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So that is something, again, you've broken free from in the Libra card, because you're changing energies. You're moving from one end to the other. And let's take a look at your Angels and Ancestors card, Seer. Yeah, see beyond the current situation. So again, if you're still feeling stuck, if you're on the verge of making this change, don't get defeated. And now I'm seeing what appears to be a South Node. That is something you could be remaining in the comfort zone. So stay focused on the future, on what the possibilities are. Where do you see yourself in 6 months or 6 years? But there's a focus here that she's gaining. And our Queen of the Moon, we have willpower, yeah. The will to break free of temptation, of the devil. That voice inside that tells us we can't do it, or we'll never make it, or, whatever discouraging notion it may try to throw our way. But your will is stronger than that voice. And this is also the number 13. Look at that. Okay. You have a will to change. And especially with the power and energy of Mars behind you, that's also very fortuitous. You could have your natal Mars being activated now, perhaps by transiting Mars. So check your chart for that. Or a harmonious trine that would also support that movement forward or give you that burst of energy. So reading from the book here, decisions require action. You are in control of your own decisions in life, no one else's. Passion and will determine a great proportion of your success. You will persist. You possess free will, which means you should focus on yourself first and avoid placing your will over another's. I have the will to make the changes I need. To use our will productively, we should assess what we really want and make sure this is what we want to reach for. The companion stone or metal is hematite, which is a silvery metallic looking stone, but it's also magnetic. So it's drawing towards you what you want, and also it's dipoles, just like Gemini. One attracts, the other repels. So use your will consciously and forcefully in order to stay focused on what it is you're trying to manifest and not what you're not trying to manifest. If that makes sense. Don't focus on what you don't want in your life anymore. Okay. Let's take a look at your alchemy card. that showed itself real quick, but just the figure 8 showing up again like the 8 of Swords. Okay, 2 came out. Let's see, we have the Virgin's Milk, number 40. There's a lot of blue in your cards here. I'm seeing a theme. So throat chakra, third eye being activated, especially with her third eye being covered there. And then we have resin, number 38. Interesting. Okay. The title of the Virgin's Milk card is Innocence, Naivete, and Purity. In alchemy, lac virginis is a mystical substance supposedly coming from the Virgin's breast. The alchemist asks, how can it be? How can milk come from one not carrying a child? That is precisely the nuanced teaching of lac virginis. When studied as an alchemical concept, it points to a lack of awareness or experience that the alchemist would rather not reveal. Yes, this milky substance is a symbol of purity and innocence, but its shadowed side is naivete and even denial. When the Virgin's Milk appears, discernment and honesty must be applied to the work. In something being glossed over, rushed, or presented as perfect, there are likely complexities that need to be addressed so the alchemist can gain the maturity to handle what's next. The lac virginis archetype can be seen in child prodigies and those expected to grow up too quickly. It is remedied by admitting exactly where you are at. Humor and humility help. Just one drop of lac virginis can be medicinal. It can help the alchemist. Act as if, know your measure. Okay. So it's interesting, we have the card birth and then the lac virginis, which is, mothers produce milk when they're about to give birth. So again, maybe if there's something you're in denial about still that you're holding on to and wondering, oh, well, this doesn't matter because XYZ, and you try to justify it. That could be preventing, again, things from manifesting. That could be acting as a block. And you're being asked to reassess, be honest with yourself, and release it, what needs to be released. And then we have 38, which is resin, holding, adhering, and surrounding. Resin is a miraculous material. It offers both stability and transparency. For centuries, sculptors and archivists have used it to capture an object in time and place, preserving it for observation or adoration. Envision a delicate insect or flower suspended in a paperweight, such as the alchemical energy of resin. These qualities are protective, sealing, and hardening. When this card appears, there is a holding that is occurring, either literally or psychically. While well-intended, someone may be limiting the one they wish to protect. There may be an aspect of nostalgia at work in the laboratory, an unwillingness to let go or change. On the other hand, the resin card can indicate preservation of that which is most valued, a return to what's been lost. It feels like next to the Virgin's Milk card, a return to innocence. If some of you maybe, again, were forced to grow up faster than you should have, there's some lost youth there. This could be, again, the Gemini is the child of the zodiac, and we have the birth card there, which is birth of a child, right? Perhaps the weight of the world has been too severe for too long, and that could be what you are releasing, getting back in touch with that inner child, with that lost innocence. But also in reference to the holding on, I mentioned in the Lax Virginis card as far as feeling or being naive about holding on to something that is actually harmful for you. That could be echoed in the resin card as well, in that which it is stuck. It needs to be flushed out. It needs to be dissolved. So on the side notes on this, it says, when it's saplite stickiness, the resin card affects the whole reading. It indicates the cards that appear are bonded together, and likely you're witnessing an old pairing or pattern. Well, these two cards were stuck together. So maybe you're stuck to something that happened in your past, and that could be the Devil card too, because the Devil is the Lover's card appearing in chains, right? Feeling stuck to someone, something, or feeling like an obligation. I feel like an obligation to remain. And you might be struggling with that decision of whether to stay with this person or circumstance or way of living. And then there's also this simultaneous desire to release that with water, to let it flow, to let the dam break. And you have this will to move forward and push on past that. Okay, let's take a look at your animal totem card. We have the armadillo, number 28. There's 28 days in a lunar cycle. Something could be take a whole month in order to manifest. The armadillo is notorious for its armor, obviously. and its protective elements. So this is also boundaries. Let's take a look at the book. It's interesting, if you watch the intro, we also had the skunk show up as kind of a collective message, because the skunk can establish boundaries as well, because there's that threat of being sprayed. We also have Mars, defend self, is another part of the message. So the title of this card is Boundaries. Armor all my boundaries, teach me my shields, reflect all the hurt, so I will not yield. Armadillo wears its armor on its back, its medicine a part of its body, its boundaries of safety are a part of its total being. Armadillo can roll into a ball and never be penetrated by enemies. What a gift it is to set your boundaries so that harmful words or intentions just roll off. Your lesson is in setting up what you are willing to experience. If you do not wish to experience feeling invaded, just call on Armadillo medicine. If Armadillo has waddled into your cards you chose, it is time to define your space. You may have been too willing to let your home become a bus station. You may find that you cannot say no, even when you know that you will have to cancel plans to be obliging. This routine can get old in a hurry. So, if you find yourself being someone who's a people pleaser, this could be, again, a message for you to defend your space, your personal energy. You can't have these distractions or inner influences around you at this time while you're trying to will this new beginning into your life. It may require you to set some very firm and definitive boundaries with people and say, I can't take you or this energy with me into my future. All the answers to these questions relate to setting up boundaries. What you will and won't do, what makes you feel uncomfortable and what is comforting to you. How you react in any circumstance has to do with your ability to be objective. You cannot be objective if you cannot tell where the other person's personality stops and where yours begins. If you have no boundaries, you are like a sponge. It will seem as if all the feelings in a room full of people must be yours. Ask yourself if you are really feeling depressed or if this feeling actually belongs to the person you are talking to. Then allow Armadillo's armor to slice in between, giving you back your sense of self. So I mentioned that connection to childhood. Again, it may have to do with an overbearing parent as well. If you're a younger person, maybe still living at home and you're trying to establish a new residence or place for your living. So that might be the change that you're undergoing, but having to set boundaries with somebody whose energy is clinging to you. Okay. Let's get some Making Magic cards and we'll finish up your reading for this new moon. Little luxuries generates luxurious experiences and surroundings. That could be what you're, again, trying to manifest. It might be the luxury of having your own place. Air, that was face up. Okay, so we are in Gemini, the element of air. Work with the element of air to cut through the core of a situation and see the truth. It says see beyond a current situation. So again, there may be some lies afoot and you're able to now get a different perspective on somebody and their intentions, and you may be able to see the truth rather than what you've been led to believe by the devil in the past. Achievement, win the award, accolade, or contract. So it looks like being successful in establishing those boundaries will help you reach your goal in the will. And the triple moon, embracing all aspects of yourself, the divine and the earthly. So the waxing, the full, and the waning. So maiden, mother, crone, the triple goddess. Okay. And finally, let's get a mystical wisdom card. Why not? Advice for pile 1 on this new moon. Archangel Gabriel, messenger of creativity and hope. So you may be surrounded or work with Archangel Gabriel, but it's a positive sign of hope and support in your actions and your ability to set boundaries and move forward with your will, with your desired action or plan. And then underneath it has originality, blaze your own trail. So yeah, I think a lot of you will be doing some separating, whether physically or energetically, from people this month. All right, thank you so much, Pile 1, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If so, let me know in the comments below. Feel free to pick another pile at this time if you feel drawn to it, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, welcome, Pile 2. You chose communication. So we're going to start with your tarot cards and see if this message can fit into the rest of the cards. Our tarot cards first are the Five of Air, the Five of Swords, the Ace of Water, Ace of Cups, and the Two of Earth, Two of Coins. All right. Okay, so Five of Swords, air, that's Venus and Aquarius, so a sister sign of Gemini. Communication, deliberation, could be some verbal exchange or conflict, expressing dissatisfaction. The Two of Earth is going to be Jupiter in Capricorn, so Capricorn rules our 10th house of business, career, social standing. So with Jupiter there as an expansion, perhaps you started with one and now you have two. If this is involving your workplace, it could be, again, an expansion or getting another offer in the Ace of Cups, a new opportunity to join a new team or new environment. There could be a decision that you have to make then between one or the other. Again, that North Node, South Node decision, if you watch the intro, staying in the past where you're comfortable, even though, well, comfortable meaning it's familiar, but maybe not so comfortable with the Five of Swords there. If there's some, it feels like, I don't know, grating, like being grated, the words or the routine that you have to tolerate. It feels uncomfortable versus this new opportunity that's coming in. This seahorse is bringing a whole new environment full of promise, but you don't know it. It's unfamiliar. Is it better the devil you know or the devil you don't know? So let's see what the rest of our cards can bring in. If it's not a work-related issue, it could be very personal, intimate, with the Ace of Cups here and a new offer coming in that direction. If things have been falling apart between you and another person, you could just be seeking, especially with Venus there. Things could have felt cold or indifferent or just have gone cold. They're not exciting or fulfilling anymore, and there are thoughts of branching off. It doesn't have to be right away with another partnership, but it looks like very much so that a new offer is coming in. There's something more attractive coming into your reality that you may have comparing. You may start comparing pros and cons of leaving versus staying in any environment or relationship. So your astrology cards, to expand upon this, we have House 9, Spiritual Growth. So that's Sagittarius, also ruled by Jupiter. So now we have two cards of Jupiter. And let's see. So maybe some of you have outgrown a certain situation, a role, an environment. We have fire, confidence, optimism, passion, and bravery. More Sagittarius energy. Also Leo and Aries. And then yin, intuition, trust, patience, spirituality, and receptivity. So this is the water signs here, and earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and then Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So it looks like, again, an offer's coming towards you. You're ready to take it on. You have a free, open hand in order to receive that offer. Could be coming at you with a lot of fire, Sagittarius, and the fire card showing up as well. It feels, like I said, warm, going from a very cool environment into a warmer environment. And here we have the two coins in the middle, kind of balancing that out. So hot and cold, moving from cool to hot. Or you could just be literally changing environments from a colder environment to a warmer one, where things could be heating up between you and a new person. So let's take a look at your Queen of the Moon Oracle card. We have Resilience, number 21. This card always makes me think of the 10 of Wands in the tarot, as a figure is depicted carrying 10 heavy wands on their back. Something's been weighing them down, keeping them from being the fullest and greatest expression of themselves or fulfilling their soul purpose or contract. It might be, again, overworked, underpaid, underappreciated, but I think you're tired. You're exhausted, even though you've had the strength up until this point to power through, to push through whatever discomfort there's been. There may be a breaking point here too, where you're deciding to set down this burden. Maybe you've carried somebody else's baggage for too long as well, emotional baggage, and now there's a refreshing drink from a new cup that's coming your way. that's offering expansion with Jupiter there showing up twice. Okay, so our Angels and Ancestors card, we have the Spirit Fox, trust your talents in changing times. Okay, so that is, again, somebody may see you as talented. They may recognize your true worth and be like, hey, we can pay you more over here. If you want to bring that skill that you have, your work ethic, your vision for the future, we can help you expand that, help you grow that. And that might be what this offer is. Okay. The Queen of the Moon card is, well, the resilience. It's number 21, which is akin to the World card in tarot, which is the end of a cycle. So, and that also has to do with the end of something as in the Ten of Wands. So you're ready to start something new. The description in the book is, making mistakes builds resilience. I have learned my lessons from the mistakes I have made. I stand strong. I am an adult and I act with self-responsibility. The mantra is, I am strong and resilient. Having resilience allows us the solidity and yet the freedom to grow and to take that leap to the next level. It allows us to reach higher with a stability that makes things less risky and allows us to create with a bit more pleasure. Remember, mistakes are simply information gathering. That's it. The less drama and guilt and shame you attach to them, the better. The experience of failure or mistakes is simply one of learning. That is all. As we move around the lunar cycle and in life, we can see how things may have occurred before and that we have experience in how to handle them. Even if we don't have direct experience, we can build resilience as an insurance policy against being devastated by the opinions of others. While someone might say something nasty about us, when we compare this to what we know to be true about ourselves, it truly is no great hurt and really just a piece of information gathering. Companion stone or metal is azurite, which is a nice deep royal blue stone. It's often called an angelic stone. So it could, and it works with the throat chakra and the third eye. So your communication with higher self, you could be getting, again, clear communication around this new moon in Gemini about like you're on the right track. You're doing the right thing. Keep going. Don't give up. We got you. We have your back. And have faith, more importantly. And let's see. Your animal spirit card is the horse, number 35. I immediately think of workhorse, especially with the resilience card there and how hard you've been working at something. But the title of this card is Power. Mighty horse, power to run across the open plains or to bring the vision of the shields dancing in purple dream rain. The description is, stealing horses is stealing power, was a statement made frequently in historical Native American and a reference to the esteemed role which horse played in the native cultures. Horse is physical power and unearthly power. In shamanic practice throughout the world, horse enables shamans to fly through the air and reach heaven. Well, that makes sense in tarot too, as there are, well, sphinxes and sometimes horses depicted pulling the chariot card, number 7, which is Cancer, which all has to do with victory and spiritual ascension. So, in understanding the power of horse, you may see how to strive for a balanced medicine shield. True power is wisdom, found in remembering your total journey. Wisdom comes from remembering pathways you have walked in another person's moccasins. Compassion, caring, teaching, loving, and sharing your gifts, talents, and abilities are gateways to power. And this brings up trust your talents in changing times. So there's some gift that you're being asked to bring forth, to kind of bring out of hiding, perhaps, or maybe someone didn't appreciate those gifts in the past with the Five of Swords opening the reading. This is telling you not to doubt them, that they're needed now more than ever. And it talks about remember your total journey. That's true power in wisdom. So in the resilience card, they talked about mistakes or criticism. It's nothing more than a learning experience. It's learning some other person's perspective. You can integrate that into your lexicon now, into your understanding of reality. Some people see you as this way. Some people see reality a certain way, but it doesn't have to be your truth. It's just you're expanding your knowledge, your understanding of how people and others experience the world. And it doesn't, and that only adds to your power and ability to elevate, to grow. All right, now we're going to take a look at your alchemy card here for pile number 2. Sorry, these are so difficult to shuffle. Okay. Meiosis, the reddening. Number 25. All right. All right, so this is interesting. I kind of skimmed over the horse reading because it is very long, but it talks about the dream walker, the man journeying and coming across 4 different horses. There's the black horse, the yellow, the red, and the white. Now in alchemy, there's 4 stages of alchemy that goes black, white, yellow, red. And so because we have the red next to the horse here, I wanted to read about the red stallion description from the horse of the medicine cards. So the red stallion approached, rearing playfully. He told Dreamwalker the joys of balancing work and heavy medicine with the joyful experiences of play. He reminded Dreamwalker that he could better hold the attention of those he taught when humor was integrated with the lesson. Dreamwalker thanked him and promised to remember the gift of joy. So it really is tied into this. You know, all work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy, if you ever saw The Shining. But we have the red cards showing up, the fire, the playfulness of Leo. We have Leo season coming up later this summer in the season. So, but red is also the color of the fire. It's that burning passion, that desire, and the playfulness. So keep it light. You know, I think that's going to help you get through these most difficult times or lessons. You can also help others get through the difficulty. I think you have a great sense of humor, and your ability to shed light and humor on a subject, or, you know, is going to help that person transmute the energy on an individual personal level. So the title of this card is Life Force, Kundalini, and Blood. The reddening indicates a full expression of the work. Everything is alive. The heart pumps, the cells celebrate, the blood sings its way through the body. What was dormant has been awakened. What was once considered base is now noble. Aches and pains are integrated. Shadows are acknowledged and interwoven. When the reddening card appears, it signifies health, power, a climaxing of the work, a coalescing of what has been learned. The laboratory is no longer separate from the alchemist or from the work, but the 3 are now one. What occurs in the body is reflected in the world, and vice versa. Through the process of the reddening, we move out of the head and into the physical body. More specifically, we reach the heart. It is there the alchemist finds the sacred ingredients of power and kindness. Reconnect with physical practices that bring you vitality. It's likely to know which ones bring that rosy glow to your cheeks and sparkle to your eye. Take note of how many red cards are in your reading. You may sense the physical vitality of the querent by the presence and or absence of this life force color. So I opened this reading talking about moving from cold to hot. So, and there's an awakening being described here in the reddening. What was once dormant is now alive. Some of you are activating that Kundalini energy from the base of your spine for the very first time. And it's something is waking up inside you, and you feel a burning desire to expand or go in a new direction, to mix things up. Okay. What other card do we need? How about a mystical wisdom card? Gratitude. Be grateful for all you have. Absolutely. Even the difficult lessons that you've had to push through. And underneath we have self-reliance. Don't be afraid to fly solo. So we have resilience and reliance. So you definitely have a lot of faith. If any of these difficult lessons that you've pushed through have taught you anything, it's the power and strength of yourself to persevere. Not to say that others are invaluable or relationships are, but at least you know that in your core, you can rely on yourself when times get tough, because there's really nothing you haven't seen or done already in this 5 of Swords. There's been plenty of challenge in your life, but the Ace of Water, it's like I said, a fresh drink, a cool glass of water on a hot day. It's something refreshing coming to you. It's a refreshing change, really. But again, being able to laugh at the things, even the most serious lessons, and be grateful for them can bring you even more strength and power. All right, as a human, you know, because you can see it's something so ridiculous. Even like if somebody starts yelling in your face, I think the best way to disarm them is to just laugh. It's like you can see how absurd the situation is, how they're getting so upset over the littlest thing. That's evidence of your evolution there. Let's see, you're making magic cards. And we started this reading with that angel card communication, right? That was how you picked this pile. And that gem azurite came up for resilience, and that has to do again with the throat chakra. So your words are powerful. You can change the mood of a situation just by speaking. And then we have prosperity, a prosperous business with riches and success. Again, maybe changing the way you do your business, relying on yourself as a business owner or operator is also can bring you success. On target, follow your ideal life path. Set your intentions here on this new moon, and you're sure to achieve them there. Star, the silver energy of the star brings good luck and serendipity. When we have good luck, prosperity, we did have again Jupiter, the planet of good luck and expansion, show up twice there. Now is the perfect time to get started. Trinket 5, manifesting money and income. All right, so whatever direction you were contemplating of going, just go there. Go forth with a lot of ambition and excitement, and because this is all waiting for you as the outcome. It's no longer working for others, making their dreams come true. You're really starting to focus on making your dreams come true. Okay. Thank you so much, Pile 2, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, you're free to pick another pile at this time, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Pile number 3, you chose openness. Let's see how that applies to the rest of this reading. And we'll start with your tarot cards. First, we have the 7 of Coins, 7 of Earth, Patience, Saturn in Capricorn. We have, Fortune's Wheel, Jupiter showing up. Number 10, a changing of the energies or completion of a cycle, and the Page of Earth. Okay, yeah, I really like this. So we have waiting, change is here, new beginning is here. So there is definitely, your patience has paid off. You are being blessed. Again, we have 2 earth elements here, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius, expansion, spiritual growth. So we are expanding into a new reality, a new realm, a new possibility. So fantastic. Whatever you had a dedicated effort to, because that's Saturn, which teaches discipline. That is paying off for you now. It's coming up. You could be experiencing a Saturn return at this time, and that is reflected in the blessings are a reflection of the respect and diligence that you've had for the lessons that Saturn has been teaching you. And then our astrology cards. We have Uranus, radically change. Okay, well, Uranus is in Taurus, an earth sign right now in tropical astrology. We just had that full moon where Uranus was conjunct Mercury, the magician. And Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So now Mercury is moving into and through Gemini in tropical astrology rather quickly. So this could be a quickening, an acceleration of these changes coming into your life rather unexpectedly, or in unexpected ways. Perhaps if you were thinking, oh, well, investment A is going to pay off, but really it's investment C. It's like you weren't seeing this coming, whatever it is. It seems like a surprise, or in an unconventional way. These blessings are coming out. And there's Gemini, curiosity, intellect, and networking. That's that communication. Again, of course, this new moon in Gemini, also the magician. You definitely had a hand in this, in bringing this in. There was some focused effort and concentration. He's holding a wand there. Kind of has his antennas up right at the sky, and Uranus is the sky god, the air. It rules Aquarius. So you had your feelers out there. You were like, it's almost like it was harnessing and pulling, like a lightning rod, pulling this energy into you and using it to grow these wings on your back. Before, this man was just looking at this fairy flying and saying, well, how do I do that? How do I get there? I want to grow wings too. And you made it happen. All right, finally, we have House 4, cultural and family roots, home, peace, and comfort. So a lot of you, that's what you were manifesting. You could have been manifesting something around family, home, security, comfort, luxury, things that you were bringing into your life. So, or it could be for some of you an expansion of your family with a new member joining you there. Let's take a look at your Queen of the Moon card, growth. Yeah, that's what the 7 of Coins is, literally growth. It's the harvest. He's watching his coins grow. slowly but surely, his invested energy. And growth is expansion, just like we had here in Jupiter. Okay, and she's holding the clock there, which is another representation of Saturn. Chronos, Father Time. Time is up, time is here, time to harvest and reap the rewards of what it is you've been working so hard in. There's a lot of roots, a lot of energy has to go into the roots in order to nourish and feed this project that you've been working on. And it has definitely shown signs of maturity and expansion. Okay, and I was going to read about that, of course. This card says, reject stagnancy to get unstuck, take action. The choice to grow should be made. Expect growing pains when making huge changes in your life. Change is a natural part of life and cannot be pushed against forever. Change should have aim and purpose. Be courageous, you will blossom. I choose growth. And the companion stone or metal is charoite, which is a beautiful purple stone. When I think of charoite, I think of the chariot, which is the 7th major arcana ruled by Cancer. And we are rapidly approaching Cancer in the summer solstice in tropical astrology. So again, this is where you could see this acceleration happening coming up in the next moon cycle, in this next 28 days. Okay, so your Angels and Ancestors card, Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect. Yeah, I'd say, and even in the 7 of Coins, there's a reflection. You know, he's often pictured staring at his garden, reflecting on, okay, well, these are all the steps that I've taken to get up to this point. And I think you should give credit where credit's due. I'm sure there's been struggles and mistakes along the way, but this is more insightful in the fact that you're looking at your greatest mistakes as your greatest accomplishments. They taught you so much. They taught you how not to grow a business or how to grow a tomato plant. Something as simple as that. It's like, well, I have to do it at the right time and under these circumstances with this much invested. And it's like, there's a lot, you're kind of in awe of everything that you've accomplished up until this point, which is a great thing to, like I said, give credit where it's due. And our animal medicine, we have the Black Panther, number 52. The title of this card is Embracing the Unknown. O Midnight Jaguar, wash me with your courage and steal me with your grace, so I may know the value of the void of time and space. Teach me all your lessons, how to face the dark unknown, then let me bravely leap into the shadows all alone. Black Panther slid silently through the bayou, her golden eyes catching the starlight, midnight fur soundlessly rippling over her stealthy sinew, muscle, and bone. She and her mate were the last of their kind in the homeland of the Caddo tribe. The Panther clan has been honored and respected by the red people of the bayou for hundreds of years. Black Panther's medicine allows human beings to face their fears and dark behaviors, exploring those internal shadowy aspects of being. Well, that might be why also it's coming up as the Mirror Guardian. So maybe perhaps you're gaining insight again on what your shadow self has taught you. The Caddo people called on her clan the Black Panther, and her tribe was known as the Midnight or Black Jaguar to the Maya. The color black is honored by the red race. Darkness is a place for seeking and finding answers, for accepting healings, and for accessing the hidden light of truth. Black Panther teaches us through our dreams to delve into the places within ourselves that need healing. She shows us how to track the unfamiliar territory found on the journey of self-discovery and to fearlessly face the unknown. If Black Panther has appeared today, it may be telling you not to worry about the future. Trust that you are not supposed to mentally figure it out at this time. You may need to confront fears of the unknown or being less than you truly are, for an inability to simply be. Let go of the fears that appear as obstacles or barriers. Embrace the unknown and flow with the mystery that is unfolding in your life. The next step may be leaping empty-handed into the void with implicit trust. In the stillness of the void, find the will to avoid foolish interruptions, going deeper into your own discovery and healing process. Here you will discover Black Panther's unexpected blessings. So it's a call to faith, of taking a leap like the Fool, diving into this new journey that's appeared for you in due time, in divine timing. It's showed up in your life, and now you are being asked to have faith and trust that the future is, again, full of growth, full of blessings and expansion. Okay, and that's actually the last card in the deck, in the animal deck as well. So that's another iteration to me like the World card of completion in the tarot. Okay, let's get your alchemy card, or no, get your mystical wisdom card first. Dragon, discover your courage. Okay, yeah, courage to move forward. I mean, with greatness comes great responsibility. So more power becomes more responsibility. So maybe that's what you're afraid of or you're worried about. If you got promoted or you just graduated from school and you're about to get like your first adult job, it's like, yes, this is great. I have a salary, I've got better pay, but can I do this? This is saying yes, you can. So have courage, have faith. Remember all the difficulty, all the strength that you gathered through those challenging times in the past. Um, and give yourself credit, like I said, for your ability to push on and push forward. So draw on those strengths in order to dive into this new future that you have, okay, before you. And underneath the deck, we have self-reliance. Don't be afraid to fly solo. So again, that's just, again, personal power that I feel that you're able to draw on during this time. If there is uncertainty, it looks like a very blessed future, but still, if this is something that you're not accustomed to, it can be a little intimidating. So rest assured that you're being put in this position for a reason, and you have the ability to see it through. Sun Splendor, number 53. So we have this darkness here, the shadow of midnight, and then we have the splendor of the sun balancing it out. That's beautiful. Perhaps things were dark for you for a long time and you weren't sure if you were going to make it through, and that's what the faith was, in order to see it through, and this reward that's coming for you, because it's like the Seven of Coins taught you patience, that we do need to spend a little time in the darkness in order to enjoy the light. So the message here is generosity, health, and abundance. Revel in the glory of splendor, solace. There are several cards in the alchemy deck that relate to the sun, yet this card specifically depicts the long-term effects of its radiance. Think abundance, fulfillment, and altruism. Envision celebration and collaboration, but is it possible in our complex world? The sun's splendor says yes, one day and one ray at a time. When splendor solace arrives in the laboratory, the alchemist realizes that kindness and generosity are the secret ingredients. All the other paths fall away. Through giving back to others and the world, we become more like the sun itself, radiant, light, and expecting nothing in return. Don't know where to start? Thank someone, then thank another person. Soon the alchemist finds they are not alone in their laboratory, and miracles arrive both small and large. You might be coming from pile 2. They had gratitude show up too. So in your newfound blessings, in your newfound power and ability to reach more people, you may find yourself giving back, which is a beautiful thing and is only really going to secure more abundance for you in the future. The Sun Splendor is a card that indicates long-term overarching success and health. Though it is practiced daily, it accumulates into an ongoing narrative for the querent. And scarcity often prevents us from feeling the sun's abundant splendor. Give freely today. Give anonymously, even. They take note of how you feel. All right. Finally, let's get your Making Magic cards. Final message for our pile 3. There's a bright future for you, pile 3. And it's well deserved, because you've put a lot of energy into it. Okay. Oh, next year, Chinese New Year, is the year of the dragon. So that could be an even better year for you, starting in February. Underneath we have Goddess, healing feminine energy. Okay, where you could feel like a goddess or treat somebody like a goddess. Abracadabra with wings, fantastic good fortune, and lucky chances. Well, we did have Jupiter show up in the Wheel of Fortune card already. So a stroke of luck could be on the horizon. Sun, the golden energy of the sun brings fame and fortune. All right, so you're receiving recognition for something, okay? And you're going to feel blessed. You're going to feel beyond grateful for that. And then wishes come true. Rapid achievement of your dreams and wishes. Amazing. Okay. Thank you so much, pile 3, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Feel free to pick another pile at this time if you want. Otherwise, take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.